everybody. Welcome to Writers with Purpose. I am Melvese from Written Words Publishing. At Written Words Publishing, we envision a world where every storyteller, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to share their voice, shape narratives, and impact the world through the written word. And today, our guest will be author Terry Ann Williams Richard. She is the author of a children's book titled Just Call Me Scholar. Terry Ann's this book is an illustrated, inspirational poem celebrating our girls and boys and encouraging them to shine. The bright, bold illustrations and positive rhymes make a great classroom or family read aloud to celebrate young scholars everywhere. So we have a trailer for Terry's book. Let's check it out right here for a second, y'all, before we bring her on the stage. Check this out. Awesome, awesome. That was really nice. Okay, before I bring Terry up on the stage, just let me drop a publishing tip on you all right there. Do not sleep on book trailers, okay? You think about your book like a movie and make some type of visual effect, add some music or some words to the background to market your book, and then you can post it all over the place, use it for advertisements or whatever you need to do. Do not sleep on book trailers, okay? Let's welcome Terry Ann Williams Richards to the stage with us today. How you doing today, Terry?
Hi, Melvese. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us something about yourself and tell us the purpose behind your book, Just Call Me Scholar.
Okay, just call me Scholar. I am also an educator, and I will say like a lifelong educator because I've been in education for many years, and I'm also a writer, or author, a book writing coach. And the idea behind Just Call Me Scholar is to be an inspiration or to motivate kids, to encourage them. Because my main job as an educator, my main goal for myself personally is to help build confidence and skills.
That's awesome. So your book description says that it was based off a poem. So did you just take like a poem that you wrote and broke it down and added illustrations to go along with it? How did you do that?
Yes, the poem is actually called Just Call Me Scholar. And I will try to make the story quick as to how that poem came about. Um, I think it probably was like 2018, I want to say maybe 2017 or 2018. I saw this post on Facebook where it was an empty park bench in a park, and there was the caption that said, if you could have a conversation with anybody, past or present, who would it be? Right. And so I was like, I'm going to put that on my page to see what kind of responses I get. Um, and so I got different responses. Some people wanted to talk to maybe their grandparent or parents, some people that had passed on. And for some reason, Harriet Tubman came to my mind that I would want to speak to Harriet Tubman. I just admire what I've read and heard about her through history of freeing our people. So, and when I talk about this, it just makes me, uh, but anyway, I was imagining myself having a conversation and I said, Miss Harriet, what should we say or do? Because people they don't know what to call us. And in the time During this time, even though it was 2018 or 2017, y'all, there were some things in the news where people were calling kids monkeys, our little Black children monkeys. And unfortunately, I experienced that personally where I was working at the time. I heard a colleague call our students little monkeys. And so as I'm having this conversation, it was like I heard Harriet Tubman say that they can just call us scholar, just call me scholar, because I'm here to learn, I'm brilliant. And as the beginning of the book, like on that first page of the book, it says, I am articulate, brilliant, courageous, determined, and free. Then when you go to the next page, people often wonder what they should call me. Just call me scholar. So yeah, and like on the page that I'm gonna see if I can flip this around. On this page, it's a little girl looking in the mirror with those different things. And in fact, the little girl is my daughter. She's like 33 now. But when I was looking for my illustrator, I gave him a picture of my daughter and my nephew when they were about 3 or 4 years old. And that's who I wanted him to base the characters on. And so that picture of my daughter with a character that was just my daughter looking in the mirror represents something that I said to her one day. She was going to be going to Head Start, and I put her in front of a full length mirror and I said, do you like your hair? And she said, yes. And I said, and mommy likes your hair. Do you like what you're wearing? Yes. Well, mommy likes what you're wearing. And so I was explaining to her that when she meets people, sometimes people will be mean. They may talk about your hair, they may talk about your clothes, but what you will say, and they may call you a name. And I said, but you can tell them to call you by your name, and her name is Tamara. I said, you can say to them, my name is Tamara, and that's what you can call me. And so back to this book, just call me scholar. And I wrote it's the rhyme. This whole book is a poem and it's illustrated.
That's awesome. That's a really awesome idea, and to put it in a book with the pictures, with Black children characterized, to give them the opportunity to let people know, yes, you can call me. Tell people to call you what you know you are. Don't let anybody call
Yes.
you out of
Yes.
your name or call you anything negative. Why on earth people would call children little monkeys? Like, really?
Yeah, and it was like to actually, and it was 2018. It's like, come on now. And of course, I did what I do, reporting it, and different things happen where this staff had to take. They weren't calling it diversity training; they had already started calling it something else. I can't even think of it. Oh, implicit bias. They had
Mhm.
started using that term then. So they wanted people to take that training. But yeah, but just call me scholar. And so the poem, it also brings in things like our, kids imagining and dreaming big of what they can be, what they want to do. I also have a line in there about our skin and the texture of our hair, wanting people to appreciate that. And in fact, the picture, I have one granddaughter and she's 10 now, but she was younger when this book came out. And her favorite picture, I'm going to show y'all her favorite picture. And it's so funny because this picture is like a standard, it's a standard. You know how we all have, sat down on the floor while our mom combs our hair? And so that's her favorite picture. She was like, I like that picture. That's my favorite picture. And so, but yeah, the texture of our hair, the color of our skin. And then there's a line in the poem that talks about we come from kings and queens, we come from royalty, and honoring our elders. So yeah, it's all in there, honoring our elders and where we come from, what we're made of, and just who we are, how that royalty and success and all that good stuff that runs through our race, that runs through our veins.
That's awesome. That's great encouragement. What is the age group for your book?
3 to 8.
3 to
That's the
8.
initial
Oh,
age
look at
group.
that.
Yeah, and
All
if you
okay.
look on some of the reviews, a mom, well, she's a grandma, and she has a little baby that was still in a little bouncer seat that she was reading it to. And she said that she was responding. It's like she was responding and, making these vocalizations. So, and of course, we've read lots of research and we know, and probably as you were raising your kids, and I know when I was raising my daughter, we were reading to them, um, and reading to them once they were born and didn't even know how to turn a page yet, because they're like a couple of months old. Yeah.
Reading is something that we definitely need to instill in the children and actually encourage them to read, especially with them having access to all of these devices now where things are just typed in automatically for you or where they can just do voice to text. I believe that the kids having access to that stuff is taken away from their ability to comprehend, to actually read and absorb and know what they're reading, to spell, to speak properly, all of that stuff. So we definitely need to be sure that we are reading to our children. And this book right here, Just Call Me Scholar, y'all. I'm ready to go and buy this book. All five of my grandkids fit in the 3 to 8 age range for the book. So I would definitely be purchasing this book for my grandkids. It's holiday time, y'all. Holiday time. So what greater gift to give these children than the gift of knowledge, than the gift of a great book that's going to encourage them and uplift them and inspire them and help them to see themselves as who they truly are, kings and queens.
And brilliant and courageous and
Yes,
free.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
People wonder what to call me. They can just call me Scholar. There's
yes,
do we still have time?
yes. We do. We have time. We have time. What else would you like to tell the audience here today?
Yes. One of my sorority sisters told me that I should have a song for my book, right? And it should be like a rap or, like we're stepping. Y'all know how sorority step. And so I ended up coming up with a song. She may have given us the hook. And then I've had a chance to actually do that with my granddaughter and actually with some of my read alongs. And it's like SCHOLAR. Just call me Scholar. Yeah, just call me Scholar. SCHOLAR. Just call me Scholar. Yeah, just call me Scholar. And and learning is my superpower. I almost forgot that line. Yeah, learning is my superpower. And then we would say, and I have like a little clip with me and my granddaughter singing this together, and she sang it with me with one of my kids, author visits and school visits virtually. And then we would start out by saying, I am a scholar. I am a scholar. I am a scholar. Who are you? And then the kid says, just call me scholar. And so it's fun. And then on one of the recordings, my granddaughter says, we all are scholars, everyone.
That's really cool. Have you thought about putting that song to an animated video, putting it up on YouTube Kids? Where I don't know if you know, but a lot of people just got YouTube Kids babysitting their youngins nowadays.
You know what? I never thought about putting it up on YouTube, but I have been looking into putting like some beats to it and music to it. Yeah. And
Yes.
what's so cool about it is wherever I've done the song or in the author's visit or virtual reading, in person, out of person, in person, or virtually, the kids catch on and they'll do it. They do it with you. And I remember one time I did a reading with the class virtually, and then I was coming back to meet with them virtually on a writing class I was doing with them, or really a writing activity to follow up with their teacher's lesson. And this little girl, when we started out, she was like, I asked, do you have any questions, about, the writing or whatever? She said, can we sing the Just Call Me Scholar song? So she was, she had remembered that from our previous meeting. And so she still wanted to sing that song. And so it's a blessing and it's fun. It's fun.
Yes, yes, it is fun, and I don't know what it is or what the concept is behind, what why. Yeah, I mean, I have like literally seen my youngest grandson having a tantrum, crying or fussing over something, just like, what are you crying for? And then you put one of those videos on, and automatically they just stop crying and start watching. And the songs, they know them even before they can speak. They can sing the songs, and it would be awesome to ingrain that in their heads, a song, a
Mhm.
lullaby or something, encouraging them to just call me scholar, spelling the words out. That's awesome. That'll help with their spelling abilities, and
Mhm.
just and it affirming, I am, this is awesome. We have some people or somebody in the chat that's viewing. He says, I'm seeing a few people. Just call me Cleopatra Jones with the red afro. Just call me Maya Angelou.
And
Well,
that's
he
one of my favorite authors right there, Maya Angelou.
yes, and then since I've been doing the interviews, he's calling me. Oh, okay, I receive it.
That
I receive it.
is great.
And then he wanted to know, where can it be purchased? Where can people purchase your book, Terry?
Um, Wherever books are sold, you can go online, put my name in. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. Yeah, you can get it. You can get it at Barnes and Noble online. So any of the places you'll see
Wherever
it.
books are sold. That's right. Even if they have it in Barnes and Noble online, if you walk
Mhm.
into a store, here's some more publishing information for you all out there. If your book has been distributed far and wide through a distributor such as Ingram, then that is where the libraries and the bookstores purchase books wholesale. So even if they do not have it on the shelf, if you go in the store and you request the book, if a reader comes in the store and they request your book, the store can order it, and the buyer can come back to the store and pick it up. So it is literally, even if it's not already on the shelf, it is still available wherever books are sold. Y'all take
Mhm.
that to the bank right there. All right, Terry, is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience before we go today?
Well, I want to tell everyone to be on the lookout for the coloring book. There's a coloring book that will have illustrations from the original book, of course, without the color, so you can color it. But I also have an activity, with each one.
That'll be awesome. Well, one more question before we go. The illustrator. How did you find a reputable illustrator for your children's book?
Actually, I was at a Black Book Fair in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it probably was like in 2018. A lot was happening in 2018. And so, and you know how you go around to the different tables, and I met an author, and her book was called Girl, You Are Magic. And so I looked at it. I said, "Oh, this is so beautiful. How did you publish it?" Because I had published other books, but I had not published a children's book yet. And I thought hers was so beautiful. I liked the illustrations. And so I saw her book, and I was thinking like, "Oh my goodness, how did you do this?" And so she told me who her illustrator was, Lee Johnson, and you can find him on Facebook or probably Instagram too. So he is great. And so when I worked with him, for each line I described what I wanted the illustration to be. And he went beyond my wildest dreams.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that is a great way to find illustrators, to find book cover designers. If you happen to see a book and you like the cover or you like the illustrations, ask the author who did it for them. Ask the author
Mhm.
who did it for them, and then that's a great way to, to get connections with the illustrators and the book cover designers. And the she mentioned that she was at a Black Book Festival. Literary events are a perfect place to go to meet other authors, to network, to interact with readers, to make sales, and to build your email list and just get an overall good feel for the whole literary community for both the readers and the authors. And yes, if you want to uh, attend any events, if you go to writtenwordspublishing.com/events, there is a list, a calendar of literary events all over the country on that page. So I would encourage you all to go and check it out. All right. Well, thank you very much, Terry, for joining us here on the show today. This is great and telling everybody about your book, Just Call Me Scholar. I love
Yeah,
it.
and thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And we will see you on the next episode of Writers with Purpose. You all have a blessed day. Bye bye.
Bye.
That was the wrong one. I'm sorry, y'all. Outro.